You unlocking the secrets of attraction and female pleasure. Did you know that simple conversations can be just as arousing as physical touch? Sharing fantasies and desires not only strengthens emotional intimacy, but also heats things up in the bedroom, much like foreplay. However, when it comes to female pleasure, there are important nuances that many overlook. For instance, 95% of women identify their neck as one of their most sensitive areas, yet only 1% can achieve orgasm through nipple stimulation alone, and some women don't respond to G-spot stimulation at all. The average female orgasm lasts between 13 to 15 seconds, and yes, female squirting is a real phenomenon, not a myth. How to become more attractive without a six-pack. If you think getting shredded is the key to attracting women, think again. Studies show that leading an active lifestyle is far more important than having the perfect body. Physical activity boosts testosterone, which naturally increases attractiveness. Another key factor, scent. Women are instinctively drawn to men with higher testosterone levels, and certain colognes that mimic this scent can amplify attraction. However, appearance still plays a role. Clean hair, well-groomed facial hair, and stylish clothing matter. Simply put, if you look like you live in a cave, your chances drop significantly. The power of physical and emotional connection touch is crucial in building intimacy. Cuddling, hugging, and gentle stroking create emotional bonds that deepen connection. Without these, relationships often drift toward dissatisfaction. Interestingly, couples with contrasting personalities tend to maintain passion longer, while those who are too similar often lose interest. Psychologists suggest that a mix of physical attraction and emotional connection is the secret to lasting intimacy. Sexual fantasies versus reality. Exploring fantasies and introducing roleplay can keep things exciting, but it's important to maintain emotional trust. Open communication and mutual respect are key when experimenting with new experiences. Love evolves over time. Love has stages: passion, where every touch sparks intense desire; attachment, a deeper emotional bond that requires effort and commitment to maintain. Research shows that couples who engage in shared activities like traveling, hobbies, or watching movies together tend to stay more connected. Even the weather plays a role. Summer sunlight boosts testosterone and serotonin, while cozy winter nights create the perfect environment for intimacy. The secret to long-lasting passion. The key is to constantly rediscover your partner. Love is not just physical attraction, it's about listening, supporting, and growing together. Passion may fade, but with effort, it can transform into a deeper emotional connection that lasts a lifetime. So, which fact surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the psychology of love and attraction, hit that subscribe button. Things are about to get hotter. The mind of a predator, recognizing the signs before it's too late. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." But when a person's mind is poisoned by hatred and obsession, their perception of reality becomes distorted. They stop living their own life and begin constructing a mental blueprint of yours. A predator never strikes without first studying its prey. If you've noticed someone observing your habits, tracking your movements, and appearing in places they have no reason to be, this is not mere coincidence. It's a calculated pattern, and recognizing it early could save you from walking into danger. Warning sign number 1, unusual presence and repeated encounters. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once advised, first say to yourself what you will be, and then do what you have to do. This is exactly how a predator thinks. They plan before they act. At first, it seems harmless. You bump into the same person at your favourite cafe, your gym, or your usual lunch spot. You chalk it up to chance. But then it happens again and again. They begin showing up at places you haven't publicly shared, places you only mention online or in private conversations.
Let me tell you about James, an artist who lived a quiet, peaceful life. One day, he began noticing a man at his gym. Then he saw him at his regular lunch spot. Soon after, the same man appeared at a bookstore James visited every weekend. At first, James dismissed it as coincidence, but things escalated when this stranger showed up at a private art gallery event that wasn't publicly advertised. James didn't realise that his life had become a pattern being tracked and studied by someone else. Warning. Sign number 2. Digital stalking said you'd always be there for me. But when the chips were down, when I looked over my shoulder, where were you? This city chewed me up and you watched sipping on your half-calf latte.
In today's world, these tactics are even more dangerous. Fake social media accounts, doctored messages, and anonymous accusations can destroy your reputation without the attacker ever showing their face. The key is recognizing the pattern early. Protect your connections, communicate openly with those you trust, and never allow a manipulator to control your reality. Warning. Sign number 4. Physical behavior changes. Epictetus once said, "Difficulties show a person's true nature. When hatred reaches its breaking point, the body reveals what the mind has already decided. Violence doesn't come out of nowhere. It builds slowly and leaves subtle traces. The question is, will you notice them in time? Watch for shifts in body language, tense posture, clenched jaws, or lingering stares filled with quiet resentment. They begin positioning themselves around you, invading your personal space and subtly testing your boundaries." Liam experienced this firsthand with Robert, a distant co-worker who became increasingly hostile. Robert began standing too close, blocking doorways, and always positioning himself behind Liam in meetings. Then came the aggressive outbursts, slamming hands on desks and making offhand comments about weapons. Seneca once said, "A sword never kills, it is the hand that wields it." The signs were there long before Robert acted. The tension, the proximity, the quiet aggression, all warnings that most people ignore. But aggression that escalates in a calculated manner is never random. If you notice these behaviours, take it seriously, distance yourself and remain aware. Warning, sign number 5, unexplained. Sabotage. Seneca once said, "He who injures one threatens many." When hatred festers, it eventually seeps into actions, small at first, almost unnoticeable. But over time, the pattern becomes undeniable. Daniel was thriving in his career when strange things began happening. Important emails vanished, project files were mysteriously altered, and one morning his car wouldn't start despite being in perfect condition the night before. At first he blamed bad luck, but then rumours began circulating, colleagues turned against him, his reputation crumbled. This is how sabotage works. It's a slow, deliberate erosion designed to make you doubt yourself and question your reality. In today's digital world, sabotage isn't just physical. Hacked accounts, fake profiles, and manipulated evidence can be used to destroy your career, your relationships, and your mental stability. The biggest mistake you can make is ignoring the pattern. If disruptions keep happening and always work against you, someone is pulling the strings. Warning. Sign number 6. Escalating confrontations. Seneca once said, "Anger, if not restrained, is more harmful to us than the injury that provokes it." When hatred consumes a person, it doesn't explode all at once, it escalates slowly. At first it's subtle, sarcastic remarks, passive-aggressive comments, and lingering stares. Then it becomes more hostile, confrontations over trivial matters, unnecessary aggression, and attempts to provoke a reaction. David, a quiet designer, experienced this when his co-worker, Jake, began picking fights over minor mistakes and blocking doorways as if daring David to react. One day during a meeting, Jake slammed his hand on the table, smirking as the room went silent. This wasn't anger, it was a test. A predator often escalates confrontations to gauge your reaction before taking further action. If you ignore it, they push further. If you react emotionally, they use it against you.
final truth: by the time hatred turns to action, the signs have already been there. Most people miss them, not because they can't see, but because they refuse to believe. If you recognise these patterns, do not dismiss them. Your awareness could be the only thing standing between you and something far worse. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realise this, and you will find strength." This is exactly what someone like Jake fears, a person who refuses to be controlled. Jake didn't provoke David because he cared about the argument. He did it to dominate, to make David flinch, to break him. The truth is, when someone escalates confrontations, it's rarely about the disagreement itself. It's about power. And here's the most dangerous part. When you stay silent, they see it as permission to push further.
It starts subtly, slamming doors, throwing objects just a little too close, disguising threats as jokes. Every move is calculated. They're testing your boundaries, waiting to see how far they can go before you push back. Most people ignore these signs. Maybe they're just stressed, or maybe I'm overreacting, they tell themselves. But confrontation fueled by hatred is never random. It's intentional, it's a strategy, and often it's the prelude to something far worse. So pay attention. If someone consistently provokes you, if they seem to enjoy making you uncomfortable, if they push you toward emotional outbursts while remaining calm themselves, take it seriously. Hatred, when mixed with a desire for control, doesn't stop at words, and recognizing these patterns early could be the difference between protecting yourself and walking straight into danger. Let me make this clear. What you've learned today isn't just information, it's protection. These 7 warning signs, the subtle stalking, the shift in communication, the isolation tactics, the physical cues, are your guide to identifying danger before it fully takes hold. To ignore them is to leave yourself vulnerable. To recognize them is to become untouchable. So act now. Strengthen your support system. Trust your instincts. Document everything. Seek help when shadows start to form. This knowledge is your shield, but only if you use it. If this message resonated with you, stay alert, stay strong, and keep learning. Because next time I'll reveal even deeper truths to keep you one step ahead.